Transmission volume 0%.
Good afternoon and welcome to Blindformers. I'm your host, Blind Prime, and for today I will be teaching you how to transform Transformers Studio Series 86 Leader Class Sludge from his robot mode into his dinosaur mode. So, without further ado, let's begin. And if you like what you see here and you want to see more, please hit the like and subscribe button. And I've pinned a comment below that is linked to my GoFundMe. And if you want to help me out financially and you can't afford to help me out financially, please click on the link and follow the steps. Thank you very much, and let's begin. So, this guy is an interesting transformation where with the Grimlock, they really attempted to mimic the transformation from G1, and with the Slag, they really attempted to mimic the transformation from G1. With this guy, it's different. They went a different route with it. He's not the exact transformation from G1. He's got some similarities, but for the most part, it's different. It's very different. So, let's begin. First off, what you want to do is you want to raise his fists up, and you want to go ahead and rotate them 108. You want to rotate him at the biceps for his arms 180 degrees, each of them. There you go. Rotate and rotate. Cool. Now, the rotation's done. You want to go ahead and rotate the fists so that they collapse inside, and the collapsing point is always facing towards the 2 digits on the dinosaur foot, and they will collapse inside of there. But when you do that, you want to make sure that you collapse them where the back of the fist is the one facing outwards. Be careful about that. It's very difficult to get these fists back out if you don't rotate them so the back of the fist is facing out. It makes it very difficult. The only other way to do it is to rotate it where the siege port is sticking out, and then you can put a gun in the siege hand, in the siege port, and pull the fist out. So now that you've rotated those, we're going to grab the front of his chest piece, and we're just going to pull it downwards. It's going to rotate downwards from the center of his body, and this is going to allow us to fold his head down into this gap that was created. And I really appreciate how much strength is in this area. Like, there's a lot of individual plastic pieces in there that really hold everything together. And then we're going to go ahead and fold the Dinobot, the dinosaur head forward, so we can just get it out of the way. Just rotates. That's all. It just rotates up. And doesn't really do much right now. It needs some things holding it in place. So we're going to get those things situated. Yes, we are. So now that this part is down, we're going to rotate the chest piece 180 degrees on its hinge. So after you folded it down, you then rotate it 180 degrees, and we're just going to let it sit there for a moment. Okay? Next step is to pull out these arms. I'm going to go ahead and push down this section here a bit more. Go. And you want to go ahead and pull out the dinosaur arms. So go ahead and grab each of those guys, and they're going to rotate out from the back of the chest on a little hinge, and there's a little pin that they have little pins, and there's a little slot that those pins click into. It's not really a hard connection, but it is a sturdy connection, so that's good. Those front feet have really great connection points. Now comes the unique bit of making sure this thing is folded down. Now, I've tried to do this many different ways. I'm going to try it a different way today. And the different way I'm trying it today is that I'm going to work on the front half, and then I'm going to work on the back half and see what happens. So we're going to fold these arm sections down, or these wings are actually going to fold in, and they're going to thread underneath these front arms. Cool, like that, like so. And they're going to then just kind of nonchalantly, very lightly click together. And this is actually going to give us enough space to, let's make sure we do this right. Okay, so those are going to click together like that. And there we go. And there we have it. Come on now. Don't you do things that are bad. No. Always wondered, is there something else in here? No. That's just, there's no hinges there. Okay, cool. So we're just going to go ahead and click these two pieces together. And we're going to hold them together with one hand as we pick this head piece up and it's going to lock into place, and it's going to sort of kind of hold these pieces together. Nothing really holds them together. There's nothing that is an amazing thing at holding those two pieces together, which is a real bummer. It is. But you can kind of get them held together with the head of the dinosaur mode. But there we go. Those pieces are in place. All that stuff is folded together. So let's work on the back half of him now. First off, what we want to do is rotate both of his feet arms upwards so that they're out of the way for this part. Now, we're going to work on this crazy transformation. So first off, what you want to do is you want to fold the feet forward as much as possible. And this is going to really come into play in a bit. There's a peg that sticks up when you fold these feet over on top of themselves. And you want to make sure that peg is easily visible, because that peg is going to be very necessary. And maybe. Sometimes. So then, once you've folded both of the feet forward, you want to take this, you want to take the tail section, the little tip of the tail that is clipped onto the side of the foot. You want to fold them outwards and back. And then you want to take the back of the leg, and that has the little spikes on it, like little ridges that go down it for the back of the dinosaur mode. You want to make sure both of those get folded out. And then they're going to rotate outwards on this cool hinge. So they're just going to rotate out on the sides. And what you want to do is you want to make sure they're both folded completely out. There we go. And then that one is folded completely out. You can find that there's another half of it folded in on itself. So you just fold them out and they become pretty long. And they're just going to sit there for a minute, because now we've got to collapse these legs so that these legs actually become the robot stuff. So we got to just rotate them on their knee hinge, or they're just going to rotate around so that the feet are going to end up on the underside of the robot. There's this really nice smooth section here on the underside of the dinosaur mode where the two front arms once stayed. And these feet are actually, these leg sections are actually going to end up right on top of that area. And we just want to make sure that they plug in correctly, because there is a spot for them. And so make sure that that area is cleared. And then we're going to fold everything forwards, and it's going to slot down in that spot. And it's going to love its new home. Just absolutely going to love it. So we're going to do the same with this side. I'm going to rotate that leg all the way around. Make sure that that bit's sticking out. There it goes. And we're just going to collapse it in on itself. Come on. Come on now. Don't get caught up in your crazy self stuff over there. Stop it. Yeah. Make sure that that's folded in. And that's not right. That's not right at all. Come on now. Come on now. The other arm did this. The other leg did this. You can do this too. There it goes. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Sink that in really nice and well. Make sure that point is sunk in too. Click that spot in together. Rotate that like that. There it goes. And now these pieces are going to make sure that these two pieces on top are actually folded in correctly. We don't want the wing sections to unfold themselves. And that happens pretty easily. So you just want to make sure while you're doing all this that you don't add too much strain on these two wing sections, because they will unfold. So keep a hand on them at all times, and when you do something that actually forces them apart, undo that part. That is very important. Those wings need to be together. And these feet do not like to stay together or stay in the right spot. So you've really got to work at it for a bit to make sure it sits right. Because if it doesn't sit right, then it's just not going to work right. And these legs just do not work together very well. Unlike Slag's legs or Dinobot's legs, these legs are just they don't like each other, and they're constantly attacking one another. So you got to be careful with that. Once you've got those legs down, rotate the back legs that were once arms downwards so that they can allow for some stability there. Yep. And now that this is all taken care of here, we're going to come around to this back section, and we're going to finish connecting everything together. So this tail section bit that we unfolded earlier, we're just going to kind of first fold these tips of the tail all the way backwards before rotating those sections that we unfolded. back together. So make sure the tips of the tails can then connect together. There we go. Tips of the tails are together. And these back sections will then fold back over to where they were before, except we're not going to collapse them into it because there's no room to collapse them anymore. I'm just going to rotate them both down. There we go. And with a little bit of work and moving around, making sure everything is correct and even, we're going to line up all those pegs and line up that tail section. Make sure you line up these wing sections here. And this bit that we've unfolded and connected together has actually got 2 peg holes in it. And it's going to connect on top of the wing sections there. But this is one of those flaws that I don't like about this transformation, is that there's not enough clips. There's nothing really strong and sturdy holding all this together. And so when you clip these 2 guys together, these wings, if they try to unfold themselves, will actually unfold everything. So you got to be very careful with that. And then make sure you fold the head in. And the head, it's got issues. So everything's now folded together, and then the head, come on head. There's a way it clicks into place, and there we go. Okay, the head is in place, and rotate the head down, click it forward a bit. There we go. Make them open the mouth just a bit, and finally, where's the gun? Where's the gun? Okay, we can take the gun, grab the blast effect out of the gun, and put the blast effect in his mouth. Let's do that. There we go. Blast effect is in his mouth. Close his mouth a bit to hold it in place better. And then we're going to rotate this guy upside down again. Now on his gun, there are these 2 rectangular ports. These are necessary. And if you feel on his feet, you'll find that there are 2 rectangular port holes. Or peg holes. So we got these 2 rectangular pegs on the gun. And you're just going to line them up. You're going to line them up. Come on. There it is. All right, and we got that. We got that bit in, and then this one's in. Nope, that one wasn't in. That one's in now. There we go. And make sure you give it a nice little push. Too bad it doesn't have any sort of click. I wish it was the round pegs, because those click in a lot better than these rectangular ones. I do not like rectangular pegs at all. But there we go. And the top of him split just a little bit. We can push that back together. Push these bits down on top, and then make sure everything on his end is clicked together again. Like I said, none of this likes to stay together. It's really upsetting on that end. And his blast effect fell out of his mouth. Let's put that back in. There's a little tap in there. Okay, cool. Nope, didn't get it. All right. Well, he can still hold on to it. There we go. Anyway, guys, that is how you transform your Transformers Studio Series 86 Sludge from his robot mode into his Brontosaurus long-necked dinosaur mode. I hope you've enjoyed the episode, and my final thoughts on this transformation is I'd give it a 6.5 out of 10. They're trying to do a lot of really cool things here, and I really like the complexity of this transformation. It's just they get a lot of negative points for not having really great stability points, and that's something that I'm just curious about. It isn't like they don't know that happens. It isn't like, you know, there's a few hundred Transformer reviewers out there going, hey, you know, and constantly. This is a constant problem with Hasbro. And these transformations that have 2 small pegs, like the pegs are just way too small, or there's not enough of them, and they end up just taking away from the transformation because they can just split the guy apart from the top. Other than that, it's an excellent Transformer. Its transformation is fun. To say it's intuitive would be a little bit of a stretch, but you can figure it out. I mean, I'm a blind guy, and I figured it out without an instruction manual. So I've only come across a few Transformers that made me scratch my head and go, ah. But for the most part, yeah, this is Sludge. I hope you've enjoyed the episode, and please tune in next Prime, where we will do a dinosaur review of Sludge and really talk about his dino mode, because there's some few things in his dino mode that I really want to showcase to you. So, thank you for watching, and tune in next time.